Welcome to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping Orange County. With your host, Don Camber.
Hello, live from the OC Talk Radio studios at UCI's Beal Applied Innovation Center. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Don Camber with another great guest positively impacting our community. Today I welcome Miracles for Kids Development Officer Community Engagement, Laura Collins. The organization helps families facing the devastation of a critically ill child. Thank you, Laura, for being on Impact OC.
Thank you, Dawn. It's great to be here.
Laura, please explain the story of how your organization began.
Oh gosh, let's see. Well, we're celebrating our 20th year. So several years ago, we had a wonderful man by the name of Curtis Green. He had a coworker whose child became ill with cancer, and he gathered some of his coworkers together and they raised some money to help the family. And they, from there, reached out to a wonderful woman named Autumn Stryer. She is now our co-founder and CEO, along with Curtis Green. And they began Miracles for Kids, helping many families through these really tough times in many, many ways.
What are the demographics of the families you serve and the critically ill children?
Well, our families are low income. Our families are at or below the poverty line. So they really do need help and resources. Many of our families, one member of the family, one parent will usually have to quit their job and become a caregiver and stay home with their child, have to deal with doctor visits and hospital visits and treatments depending on what the child needs.
So how do you help pay bills?
We have a bill pay program, and that is our lifeline. Basically, bill pay is really designed to help them with a car payment, a mortgage, a rent. So it helps them to, have a roof over their head and have some of the essential needs, keep the lights on.
What are the requirements for help?
Well, they do have to apply for our services. Again, they do have to be, like I mentioned, at or below the poverty line. So, there's the requirements are basically they would have to, apply to receive the services. Once a child is diagnosed from a doctor, they meet with their caseworker at the hospital, and that caseworker will say there are some resources for you, there's help. And they usually share Miracles for Kids because we do cover so many different elements for their journey. We know some of their needs, and in the several years that we have been supporting families, we've learned more and more about the resources and some of the things that they need to stabilize.
What hospitals do you work with?
UCSF Benioff up in Oakland. We have City of Hope. UCLA Mattel, City of Hope. We also have Chalk, CHLA, Loma Linda. So several hospitals. We also now have Phoenix Children's.
What's Miracle Manor?
So Miracle Manor is our safe haven. So we have Miracle Manor 1 and Miracle Manor 2 near Chalk Hospital. That is a opportunity for families facing homelessness or potentially needing to be near a hospital for treatment for their child's visits to the doctor or whatever they may be going through. If there's a surgery, they have an apartment home near the hospital where the child can recover and also do follow-up visits very close. So that's Miracle Manor. We have two, and we house over 20 families between both Miracle Manor 1 and Miracle Manor 2.
Talk about Heal, Feed, and Clothe.
So Heal is our wellness program. Our families can receive wellness, so they can receive therapy, grief counseling. They also are able to meet with a counselor. We have a lovely lady in our office that will meet them at the Miracles office. She'll also meet them over Zoom. She'll meet them in the hospital, at their home, whatever is convenient for them. Feed and Clothe, that is our Basket of Miracles program. So we have baskets and boxes. This is where the fun comes in, where a lot of our volunteers like to get involved. They can actually come to our office or an offsite, and for instance, we do a back to school basket, and that's where we'll this year we filled over 900 backpacks filled with brand brand new school supplies. So those were beautiful donated items just to get the kids ready and back to school. We also have, at the holidays, we adopt families, which is also very important. That's another one of our baskets. Boxes, we do some fun things with boxes where they're themed. For instance, we just filled our Boo box, getting the families ready for Halloween. So our boxes are themed. And there's some fun things in there, crafts to bring the families together and games. But there's also essential items for the home, for the household each month as well.
And I know you're very proud of the 360 Miracle.
Oh, yes. So 360 Miracle, I gratefully get to lead 360 Miracle. That is our women's giving circle. I actually joined in 2020 when it was first launched. So I was really grateful to have a girlfriend invite me over to her home. It was still on the tail of COVID. You know, the whole idea was to have women come together to help serve families during COVID, and it continued to grow. But what 360 essentially is a giving circle of donors that give $1,000 annually or $83 monthly. And basically that is directly going to our families just to help to lift them up. But along the way, 360 also does some wonderful events. We have a holiday tea that's actually coming up on November 6th at the Ritz-Carlton. And we just do a couple of shopping events, and we also volunteer. We do collection drives. At the holidays, we adopt families. So there's a lot of ways to become involved through 360 Miracle.
Now, are all the families connected to a critically ill child?
Yes, our families are currently have a child that is critically ill.
Can you
Yes.
talk us through what it's like for a family to apply and then get services?
Yes. So once they have completed the application process, we have a programs team that oversees all of that along with our families. So we communicate every month with our families. Our programs team is basically, they divide and conquer, and they support. So say one team member will support families from CHLA, another will have families from CHOC, and they make sure that they communicate with them on a monthly, sometimes even a daily basis, checking in and making sure they have everything they need. They create that wonderful rapport and relationship, so the families also feel comfortable to reach out to them as well. So there's this wonderful communication and relationship that happens between our programs team and the family and caseworkers at the hospitals as well, just to make sure that if there's anything that they need, we're there for them.
Describe what they're going through.
Well, our families face some really big things. First of all, it's terrifying to have a child that is sick. The child is going through so much. That's why wellness is so important, to give them that healing and to be able to talk the families through what they're going through. And to be able to help them along the way and just to lift their spirits and to give them tools to deal with what they're dealing with. So from there, yes, the monthly boxes and bill pay and all of those things are really important too, of course, but really getting them on the right track mentally and emotionally so that they can fight this battle. Our families could be facing bankruptcy, homelessness, depression. Those are some of the things that we want to come alongside them with. Those are things that we can do for them. That's how we can help.
Give us some reactions from them.
Well, I will say, gratefully, we do get to meet our families, which is very special. We do several events throughout the year where we invite our families to join us. So one of the wonderful things that we do is Birthday Bash. So we have a Birthday Bash of Miracles where we invite our families to this amazing birthday party celebration. And we're able to meet the families, chat with them. We have prizes and games and birthday cakes and all those wonderful things that you would normally have at a big birthday party. We celebrate each child individually as a group. We sing happy birthday to each child and their family and take pictures with them and send them home with all sorts of goodies and gifts, which is really wonderful. And those things are collected by our donors and supporters. Other things that we do to support as far as just to lift them up, other events that we have We also have our Boo Fest, which is coming up actually next week, where our families will be invited into our office. We'll have pumpkin decorating and costumes for the families, trunk or treat, face painting, OC sheriffs come. So there's also other opportunities. And, when we get that one-on-one FaceTime with our families and we see the joy in their faces for the parents to be able to have these extras that they might not be able to provide for their child.
Now, what are the ages of the children?
Well, our children range from newborn up to 18 years old. Yes.
And what kinds of diseases are they facing?
Cancer, about 70% of our children do face cancer. Birth defects. I mean, this types of things that you would, be seen in a hospital for on a regular basis. So, yes.
So the holidays will be upon us, and you say you do things for them. Explain.
So we adopt families at the holidays. What is really special about how we adopt our families is we start with a patient profile. We have all of the information on their wish list, their shoe size, their favorite color, their favorite sports team, and we not only adopt the child, but we adopt their siblings, parents as well, and if grandma lives in the house, we shop for her too.
So explain what that's like.
So if you were interested in adopting a family, which I hope you are, if you were interested in adopting a family, basically you would just email us. We will give you a profile. We'll ask you, would you like to adopt a family of 3 or adopt a family of 9 or 10? And from there, you'll receive a list of each of the family members in the home, and you'll have an idea of what each family member would like. They do create a wish list, and then we also have some general things that we like to support them with: blankets, socks, warm sweaters, things like that, some essential items.
Does the family who donates gets to interact with the family they support?
They can deliver their gifts. So with all of our boxes, with our Basket and Box of Miracles program, you not only have the opportunity to collect, shop, and wrap, you can also deliver the gifts as well. So you get to meet the family that you shopped for.
How do the families react to?
They love it. They love it. They absolutely love it. It's very special.
So the public can get involved that way. How else can the public get involved?
Through collection drives. So at the holidays, we do collect toys. We also collect for toys for teens, or just, fun things for teens. Those are some ways you can get involved. We love to have people come and volunteer in our office. We always have projects that could use many hands. So those things are always featured on our website as well at miraclesforkids.org. And, like I mentioned, collection drives, we have wonderful opportunities for companies. So we have corporate partners. So some of our corporate partners might come together with their team and say, okay, we want to come in and make kindness cards, or we would like to collect some gifts for one of your boxes. They'll email us and ask what our need is, at the time. And we provide them with that, and they're able to, work together with their teams and do some really great work.
Now, have you interacted with any of the critically ill children?
I have seen some critically ill children, yes.
And
yes.
Are they happy to see that there's an organization like yours to support their family? Because
yes.
the critically ill children must realize that everybody is for them, but there's someone for them.
Yes, absolutely. They do. And they love that. What is really beautiful to me is to see the siblings and the child together, and just see how, the siblings really come together to help as well. It's not always the parent. There's a brother or a sister helping, which I think is so amazing. So, they're wonderful. We have amazing families. We've always had amazing families, and they're grateful.
And then the public really interacts with Miracles for Kids to help your cause.
Yes, we have many volunteers, and it's just really amazing to me sometimes when I'll talk to someone and they've been on our website and they said, oh my gosh, I was amazed that you guys, you do boxes every month, or you had Miracle Manor. They're very excited to see some of the things that we do. And by the way, Miracle Manor, we have a decorating party that comes up every year. We decorate Miracle Manor for the holidays too, which is really fun. So we do a lot of great things.
And unfortunately, there are some deaths.
Yes, yes, there are, unfortunately. Yes, that's the hard part. That's the hard part. But that wellness program that I mentioned, having that healing, having that grief counseling, and, the families getting to know our therapists along the way and through the journey, it's very helpful for them.
Do the families ever interact with other families?
Yes. A lot of our families will meet each other in the hospitals, and sometimes, I've met moms that told me they heard about Miracles for Kids sometimes through another mom in a waiting room at the hospital, so.
And what does that do for them?
Well, I think it just really lifts them up, and, just they have a community within their, just to be able to have someone else going through the same thing they're going through is very important because you can feel very alone. So it's just very important that they have opportunities at some of our events to see each other and to meet each other. And, we do that, like I mentioned, Birthday Bash and Boo Fest. So there are some opportunities. And then Surf and Paddle. I haven't mentioned Surf and Paddle. But in the summer, we also do surf camps. So the families can bring their children to the beach. Some of these kids have never been on the sand, and they live in Southern California. So most of their time has been spent in the hospital since they were teeny tiny. So we do have surf and paddle camps, and we always, appreciate volunteers at Surf and Paddle as well. And those are another place for families to see each other and, build on their relationships.
And you were saying at the beginning that all these families are at the poverty level. So
Yes.
they're people who probably have to really work, but probably are unable to because they're caring for their critically ill child.
Yes. Yes, definitely true.
So in some cases, do they not have to work because you are in effect supporting them?
Well, we do have families that, they want to do all that they can. If there's other family members that can help, like I mentioned before, if, there's other family members that may, come alongside them as well, and help and be there for caregiving too.
So what can you tell families that are going through this?
That there is help for them, that there is a miracle for them, that there are people that care and that want to help them.
Is that how the name came out?
Miracles for Kids. I think it truly is a miracle, all of what we do. And we've been able to grow and expand on what we do. One of the other opportunities that we have for our families is our Stabilize program, our Pillars program. And basically that is education and financial literacy and employment. So it also gives them an opportunity to self-sustain on their own too, maybe after they're out of our program or while they're in it.
How do you offer that?
We have a program, it's a Stabilize program.
Is it
It's able
through
to-
Zoom? Do they go to a class?
There's various ways that they can do it, whatever it is that works for them. But we work with an organization that helps them with that as well. And it's important for them to be able to get on their feet if someone has had to stop working for a while during the child's illness. And our families, when the child is well, they can go back to work or work part-time.
Describe
Yeah.
what it's like when a child is no longer critically ill. That happens, right?
Sure, which is wonderful. That's when they're no longer, when they're well. Yes, absolutely. That is a celebration. We actually have a bell in our office. We ring our bell when we hear that a child has gone into remission.
And that's what
Yes.
it's all about.
Absolutely. It's all about the child and celebrating the child and the family.
And what do you learn from that?
Well, for me, I have to say, I think the best part of what we do with these children is, being able to see the photos after they've received a box, after they've opened their Christmas gifts, received a basket. I think it's seeing them on the beach and just seeing their smiles, and they're just kids. They just want to be kids.
So if people want to start collecting toys for your organization, what kind of toys should they look for?
Oh gosh, well, anything fun that's loud and, has lots of lights and bells and whistles. No, actually, kids, there's, dolls and games and educational games, books, coloring books and markers and pens and all those things. Anything to keep them busy and creative and learning.
What's your website if people want to help?
Miraclesforkids.org.
And then when they get on board, what are they going to do?
Oh, we have a fantastic website. It naturally will guide them. So if they're interested in volunteering, they can just scroll down and click volunteer.
And you have a lot of stories on the website.
Absolutely, yes.
Can you
Yeah.
kind of give us an example of one?
We have some wonderful families that, let's see here. One in particular that I can share with 360. We have some of our moms come and speak, and they're the most brave parents, you can imagine. And just watching them get up in front of all these women and tell their story, I just think they're just so brave. They've gone through, something really terrible, and they are strong, and they've educated themselves on their child's illness and what they're going through and what needs they have. And I'm just always in awe of seeing them. It's not easy to get in front of a group and speak, and especially telling a personal story about your child. So for me, I would say that's always the most impactful thing. We ask moms if they would like to speak at holiday tea, for instance, where they'll speak in front of over 200 women. And, we've never had anyone say no. They want to tell their child's story.
And that makes a big impact on the whole audience.
Absolutely, yes, it does.
So are you encouraging more women to join your group?
Yes, absolutely. 360miracle.org. We would love their support and their help and to get involved. We volunteer, we attend events, we wrap gifts, we do whatever is needed.
What are the demographics of those who help?
I would say anyone. I would say, and there's, any person who just wants to be there, who wants to help. We have every type of volunteer,
And what do they say they get out of it?
Oh gosh, they get emotional. It touches their heart. They'll say, "This is what I needed." I think that's what they get out of it, is that it really empowers them and they want to do more. Once they get involved and they see, we try to make it easy for them. We collect things. We're very organized in our office, and we have them come in and help us pack boxes and things and deliver. But yeah, we have amazing volunteers.
Thank you, Miracles for Kids Development Officer, Community Engagement, Laura Collins, for being on Impact OC. And I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Dawn Camber. Have an impactful day.
You've been listening to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping our community. Right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio.